Good evening, and thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of the Tactical Handyman with your host, Charlie Sellens. I'm Charlie Sellens. We're going to discuss a lot of different topics on tonight's show, some draw considerations from concealed as well as without concealment. We're going to discuss dry fire practice and how to conduct it safely, and we're going to talk a little bit about the tactical reload. And what we're hoping to do with tonight's show is also to test out our video, audio, and lighting system, as well as some editing, and see how well we can put this all together. So before I get started, I just want to show you that my weapon is in fact clear. So to do that, I'll go ahead and access the weapon, bring it in. I'm going to lock that slide to the rear, and then I'm going to visually and physically inspect that both the chamber and the magazine well are clear. And I'm going to look away, and I'm going to look back to make sure what I thought I saw the first time is actually what I saw. So once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and let that ride forward. I'm also going to be incorporating a few snap caps, dummy rounds, inert rounds into my training. So I've loaded up these 3 magazines with some orange dummy caps. Now remember, as you're going to insert your magazine into your magazine pouch, you want to make sure that the rounds are under your fingers, so as you bring it down and put it in, it seats like so in your magazine pouch. So as you're going to access it, you bring it out, and to insert it into the weapon, it's a nice smooth motion, not wasting a lot of time. And we're going to go ahead and insert this one into the weapon. I think it's really important to understand how to set up your weapon for dry fire practice, and especially to do it safely. So we're going to step over to the workbench for just a second and take a closer look at some of the things that are involved with that. Alright guys, one of our primary safety checks will be to make sure that we don't get any live rounds into our dry fire practice area. So what I've done is loaded 2 snap cap or dummy inert rounds in each one of these magazines, and that's what I'll be using for today's practice. These dummy rounds come in just about any caliber you can imagine. Different manufacturers make them. They come in different colors and design styles. There's just a few of them. So the main consideration here is to make sure that if you're going to be using any kind of rounds in your dry fire practice for malfunctions, clearances, or for reload practice, to be 100% sure that you've only got dummy rounds. You check, you look away, you check again, visually, physically inspect, so that you know that what you're putting into that weapon is a dummy round. Safety first. Now that we have our magazine set up, the next thing we're going to do is make sure that the weapon is clear and ready for our dry fire practice. So we're going to lock the slide to the rear, and then we're going to both visually and physically inspect to make sure that this thing is in fact clear of any kind of live rounds. You can see the magazine well is empty, and if I can get the light down into the chamber, you can see that the chamber is clear as well. So now we know that we have a cleared weapon. Let the slide go forward, decock the hammer, and now this weapon and these magazines are set up to do some safe, realistic, effective dry fire practice. Thanks, Charlie. Riveting stuff as always. Now we're safely set up to conduct our dry fire practice. So, as I said before, we're going to take the entire series of events and steps that you would take during an armed encounter. So we'll take it from the flinch reflex. Oh, what the hell was that? You realize, you identify the problem. The use of lethal force is necessary, so you're going to drive back with this cover garment. You're going to grab and rip up, come down, get a good high on the tang grip, elbow back as far as you can, and smoothly bring it out. Rotate and punch out on the target with a good 2-hand combat grip. Good sight picture, good sight alignment. Target is down. We're breathing. We're evaluating the situation. At a good low ready position, we can do a good quick scan. We're checking all around us, making sure that that threat is down and neutralized. Once we've decided that the scene is safe, We're going to come back slowly and safely reholster. A lot of adrenaline, a lot of nerves and shake at this point. We don't want to have survived this deadly encounter and then shoot ourselves in the femoral artery. That would go from hero to goat in about that quick. So you guys train hard and stay safe. Peace.